Okay, so this is my 2008 Suburban. One day I noticed back where, on the back end where this piece of cardboard is, I saw something hanging down. So I investigated, and it was the strap that holds my gas tank in place, the rear one. There's a front and a rear. So this is the one that broke. Obviously it broke right off right there, and then this part was hanging down. So I just replaced it. I ordered one from Dorman on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. So it comes with two. It comes with a front and a back. Obviously my front one's fine, so I only use the back. It was a pretty easy process. Just one bolt. This side hangs up with a catch system. Goes up in there. The only thing I would say, I was really worried about this bolt coming out of here because it was so old and rusted. But I sprayed it with WD-40 and let it set a little bit. Came out no problem. In fact, the bolt looked great. Was shocked how good it looked. One thing I will say is that if you get up under your vehicle, you can get to the top side of this bolt up in there, and you could spray WD-40 down into it, which I wish I would have done. It wouldn't have made a difference because it worked anyway, but if you're worried about it being rusted in there, you can spray it from the top and from the bottom to try to get some penetrant WD-40 in there to loosen that bolt up. But mine came out fairly easily, way easier than I thought. The one trick to this is, obviously you can't plan these things, but my gas tank was a little full. So in order to get that gas tank back up where it should be, you need a jack. So I had to use a floor jack. And I was a little concerned about putting pressure straight up because those tanks aren't designed to be pushed on straight up. But I put it on the end so maybe the force would go towards the vertical part of the tank, and I put a piece of plywood, a small piece of plywood up under there so the jack wasn't pressing directly on the tank, sort of spread out the pressure. But I really had to kind of crank that jack to get that tank back up where it would be so this thing would fit on. When I first put this on, it wasn't even close to coming around to where the spot where it needed to be was. Like it was, you know, if the hole where the bolt goes is up here, you know, this was, 3 inches below it, and I'm like, God, that's a long way to go. But the way you do it, or at least the way mine went, was I got it close enough to where the bolt would go in, and then the bolt itself sort of bends this into place, and then I use the bolt pressure to sort of bend it and form it around the tank, as opposed to just trying to crank up on that jack more to get it up in there. I think you reach a point where the tank is as high as it'll go, and the rest of the process is just this thing bending around the tank. At least that's the way mine went. But I'm glad I did it. It was not hard at all. It just took a little patience. I would say the whole thing took me about an hour, if that. I think if you watch this video and that bolt comes out easy, you could probably do it in a half hour. But it was an easy fix.